Good day, guys. Today is Sunday, September the 9th, and this is my AMT 1335 distance video for the second week. And so I'm hoping you guys had a chance to at least take a look through Moodle. I've noticed that a couple of you have started looking at the quizzes there, and that's absolutely great. So what I'm going to do today is take just a few minutes of your time to help you get started here a little bit. At this point in time, you should have hopefully received a package or have ordered your books for AMT 1335, which is this textbook here, along with this workbook. Students often wonder why you get the workbook. The workbook is a wonderful tool. It's something that I'm going to encourage you to use. Accounting is very much a thou shalt discipline. We do the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. And in a perfect world, we all come up with the exact same financial statements for the entries every single time, so everything looks identical. So the publisher has very wisely put together this workbook, so that will give us some tools that we can use as we first get started. As we progress through October, I'll encourage you to use the workbook less and less because it can become a little bit of a hindrance after a while if students become overly dependent upon it. We as record keepers, we as accountants after time can just get a blank sheet of paper or open up Microsoft Excel or any other spreadsheet and just start doing what we need to do on the blank sheet of paper or in the spreadsheet. But at this point in time, the textbook is a fantastic tool and I'll encourage you to use it. Also included in your package would have been a small Connect card. Unfortunately, mine has walked off over the years, so I don't have the Connect card anymore. Do you have to use the Connect site? No, you don't, but it is also a very good tool. The reason I like using the Connect site, I'm just going to bring this up, is that once you log in, you will not be asked for a credit card number. You don't have to worry about that. You've already paid for this resource, and it'll be open for the rest of the semester here. So you would go in, enter in your email address, and where do you go in? If I go back over here, let's take a step back. If you go back into Moodle, you'll go down here, the McGraw-Hill course site. If you click on this link, it will take you to a registration page. I'm not going to go to it because I can't just come back in my browser, but if you click on this link, it will take you to the registration site. You put in your email address, you use the number on the Connect card, it'll be the pull tab, the number behind that, and then you should see a screen that looks very similar to this. I don't use the Connect site a lot. Actually, I don't refer you to it at all in the course, but personally, I use it quite a bit for this. And this is an online version of your textbook. So it's an exact duplicate of your textbook, which I actually rather enjoy. So you can access it on your computer, you can access it on your tablets, on your phones if you want it. So basically what we have is a mobile version of our textbook. You may use this, you may not, and of course that's completely up to you. But also, if we go back to the library page where we were, I'll go back to my student view here, we have some other resources. So you have some study videos that the publisher has put together and some tips and some hints. So this is a good site. It's included in the package, so I'll encourage you to at least take a look at it. But I will not be referring you to this site at all over the course of the semester. Now, looking back at the Moodle document here, if I take a look at what I've asked you to do this week, I've asked you to start working on Chapter 1. So in particular, I'd like you to look at PowerPoint slides 1 through 34 and then 35 through 50 and start working on some of the quick study questions. This is going to be where we get started into our actual accounting theory. The first little bit of the textbook talks about why accounting is important. It talks a little bit of history of the accounting designations here in Canada, and it talks about the users of financial statements. From my perspective, because we're an agribusiness program, I always assume that you will be keeping your farm books or you'll be keeping books for somebody else. But if you're keeping your own books, then ultimately you are the user. So the best thing you can do, the best gift you can give yourself is the gift of good records. So if you have good records, you can make good financial decisions. And we'll talk about that a lot throughout this particular course, especially in the videos. So going back to Moodle, I will add a few things here and there over the course of the semester. And so one thing you'll find here pretty quick is that even though it's not on here right now, and I'm not sure why, you will have two articles that will be up on Moodle. I'll make sure you can see those here in just a moment. But I've also put on this course discussion board. So I want to make sure that we have a separate discussion board for every chapter. So every time we open up a chapter, we'll have a new discussion board. If you have any technical questions about the accounting problems or any issues, please feel free to either email me or put your question up in the discussion board. If you do email me, what I will do is I will anonymously source the question. I won't state who asked the question. But then if it's a very technical question, I'll put together a video to show how we work through everything. So if you do have a question, if you ever get stumped on something, let me know sooner rather than later, and I'm happy to put extra videos together. So as I said, you're going to get a couple of news articles up here in just a couple of minutes, actually. They're just interesting articles. I will put those up because this is an agribusiness program. So everything I like to do, I like to tie into agriculture. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Again, via email, discussion board, phone call, whatever works best for you. And I will let you go. So happy studying, and I will talk to you guys in a week.